Hello, lovely people. I'm sorry I'm making such a cock up of things this evening. I'm trying again. So, hi. Yeah, I made one earlier on. I thought, people did come in. So I had to stop because you know what it's like. Unaffected people don't really like you talking about it. Well, I'm hoping that some people are going to be about so we can have a chat. Other than me just being savaged by my cat. I was just talking earlier on about how I feel completely disconnected from the rest of the world. I do. I'm not even slightly. They're just feeling further and further away from me. And I just wondered, do you feel the same? How do you feel about the whole scenario? I mean, we're going to hell in a handcart as far as the world's concerned. People think we've already been raptured. But how could we have been raptured when all this is, we're in the middle of all this? You know, trying to have a normal life. How can we have a normal life? Everything's changing all the time. We're living in realities that aren't the same to each other anymore. You know, it's like trying to deal with the world's problems when I don't feel part of the world anymore. It's really quite difficult, and I have literally got to the point where I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm supposed to be fighting, but the fight seems tiring, difficult, frustrating, because we're not fighting normal things. We're fighting a vile, evil elite with a sick, satanic agenda. And that's a fact. That's an actual fact. Dee! Hi. Hi. I'm glad you found me, because I'm feeling particularly today. I'm really finding the world, I'm not connected to it. I'm not connected to it at all. Well, I hope so, Dean. I don't really feel like it's going to all be okay at the minute. It's all going to shit. And like in the last time I went live, I was saying that I feel that I thought I'd gone down the rabbit hole before the Mandela Effect to find out the world isn't what we thought it was. And that's before reality changing. Gee, I wonder. Hi. Thanks for joining me. So, as I'm sure most of you know, no, it's not real. Gee, I wonder, it's not real. And I think that's the point. That's my problem. Reality's changing every few minutes. So how can we be involved in that? How are we supposed to be involved in normal life when none of our lives are normal anymore? Mandela Effect has been going on really thick and fast lately, and reality is changing so drastically. And then we're having to deal with billions of people who don't even know about the rabbit hole that they haven't entered in what we thought was the real world without the Mandela Effect. They're just... oh, I'm finding it all so draining. I really don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what God wants me to do anymore. I did feel like I was supposed to be fighting, but now there seems very little point when people aren't hearing. The powers that be silence us. We're censored. The facts are censored. Do you know, I posted on Facebook, it was actually written as an FBI officer was arrested by some ordinary cops Now, it had been fact-checked, and because it was partially untrue, i.e. the man wasn't from the FBI, apparently, they wouldn't let me post it. So I posted it again with a disclaimer at the top. It says the man's FBI, but it isn't FBI. And they removed it again. So I tried again to say I want to make it perfectly clear that this has been fact-checked, and the man in this video is not FBI, but he's clearly somebody of authority and above the police who had arrested him. And they still wouldn't let me post it. So, because it didn't matter that I put the disclaimer out saying the facts are this man wasn't actually FBI, but because it's got, you can't, the minute they don't, it's unbelievably hard. It really does, I wonder, it really does. Yeah, well, Dean, some days it isn't an amazing ride, and other days I just want to fucking get off the waltzers now. I feel sick. It's that simple. Some days I've had enough and I feel sick with it all. Stop the world, I want to get off. Thing is that, like, I'm fairly sure it's going to get much worse than this. I am. And another thing is that the aggression of people around me at the minute, you know, people are losing it. And I don't really understand why. You know, I'm just a bit overwhelmed with it all, I think. There's an awful lot changing here. A lot of British history has changed lately. Britain lost the top of Scotland. It came off. People don't notice. Then there's all the propaganda, the conspiracy theories, the facts that are hidden within conspiracy theories. Oh, it's all too much. Left this, right that. Do you know what I mean? Left wing, right wing. The wings are puny little scabby little shit things. Why are we letting left and right be part of this? We're the breast. Let the little scabby left and right wing with no meat on it, let them fuck off. Fight amongst, the parties, I mean. We the people are the breast. And I'm sick of this bipartisan thing. It shouldn't be. Nothing that's going on in the world should be about left or right. It's just about what needs to be done. But no, it's people's agendas, the nefarious, satanic agenda. It's very disturbing. Crunchy Bee, I thank God, I'm so glad you found me, you guys. Thank you. See, I need you. It's like, I'm not giving up. People seem to think that I'm giving up. Of course I'm not giving. How can you give up? You can't give up on life. But it's not my world. It's like, not my circus, not my monkeys. Do you know what I mean? Not my circuit, not my circus, not my monkeys. And I'm fed up of being in a world where so much hate and intolerance, it's a disease. We've all been on lockdown. People get let out and the first thing they do is leave shit. They leave literal shit on beaches and in parks. Yeah, be in the world, not of it, yeah. That's exactly right, Crunchy Bee, but I'm definitely not of this place. Just in it, bumbling about, not knowing what I'm doing. It's the fact that reality's changing and the world's getting worse and worse. And I don't know what to do. I thought I was supposed to fight, but I don't know how to anymore when they keep stealing the facts, hiding the facts. No, nor me seek the truth. Thank you for being here. I'm glad we found each other. Because, there are some people around me that are Mandela affected. They see changes. but they don't see them like we do, and they're not affected by it. Their lives are their mundane lives. You know, it's not the same as us. Night's Light, what a lovely, lovely name that is. I like that. And believe me, I spend my time fighting for human rights. Like I said before, my Facebook profile is all about human rights. It's not about me. I don't ever do it about me. It's about, for the last 5 years, 6 years, I've been fighting for the cause of other people. And they've made it more and more difficult. We're censored all the time. You know, it's really hard to be part of a world that you're not part of. And I just feel a bit like I'm like in the middle of a massive sea, doing the doggy paddle and getting nowhere. Nowhere. I don't think I've ever felt so small in my life. Care Bear stare. Yeah, I understand that. Seek the truth. My husband has got. He now accepts that I see reality changing, and in fact, he had a bit of a reality check of his own. He saw some people that disappeared in front of him, and he phoned me. Elizabeth, hi. So yeah, even he, but I can't just be openly casual with him about it. I can't talk to him like I talk to you guys. You know, I can't share all the things. I don't think he'd cope with it. Is there some? Oh, who have I met? Who have I missed? Who's Jessica? Is that Seek the Truth? Are you called Jessica? I'm so glad you found me. Anyway, how are you doing with it all, people? Because I mean, really, I do these lives to interact in real time with you guys and talk about the things that are on your minds. That's the whole reason for me actually doing this. So, yeah, good. Hi. How are you coping? How are you coping with the world in general and everything that's happening? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to get off your chest? Anything in particular? Because, like I said, I'm here to talk to you in real time about the things that you want to talk about. I make my videos about the things I need to talk about, and then this is supposed to just be us guys interacting with each other, talking in real time, really connecting. I wish we could do multi-screen so we can see each other, or at least, you know, talk. Yes, seek the truth. That's exactly, I mean, quite, and not just awake ones, knowing things. I think I've been like that all my life, where I've known things and they've happened, or been able to call people to me thinking about them and they arrive, or they call me, or somebody talks about them. You know, it's there's so much. Elizabeth, this is why we need each other. You know, I had a bit of a meltdown the other day. I had a bit of a cry the other day because, like, we're being robbed. And it's things like, I'm going to show you something. Now, please don't laugh. But when I was 15 and I was at school, we had an art project. And I made this. The roof fell off in the kiln. But look, I made all the little stones. I made little curtains and flowers in the window. Now, my mum kept this. And if you can see underneath, it's got AD. Sorry, I got cut off. Somebody else made that. A different Ashley. Me, in my original body. Having said that, about a year after I made that, was when I had my very first Mandela Effect anyway. So God knows how many of them there've been since I was affected. God knows how many of them. But I just feel like I even feel disconnected to this precious thing that my mum kept, this bit of me from my teenage years, you know. And then there's this is my most precious thing in the world. I don't know if you can see. You see him there? That's my wooden man. He's like a cavalier. I don't think you can see him properly. But my mum and dad won that when the last year that they were in the army when I was 10. And I've had that with me. Like, I've had it in my life since I was 10, so that's like 45 years. My girls grew up with it. They hated it. Used to frighten them, but to me it's looked over my family and me. But it hasn't, has it? Because that's not the original one. And my most precious things aren't money or jewellery, or my most precious things are people, to be fair. But it's, when you think about it, the things that are precious to me, the things, I mean, even photographs aren't the me that I used to be. Precious photographs with my family. This man here, that's my granddad. My mum had that photo for ages, that's my granddad. But it isn't my granddad, is it? It isn't. That's not the picture of him. Originally, from my past, from my reality, I'm not really me. This isn't me. This is another version. I mean, I'm getting fed up with that as well. Yes, I do. And see, the truth, I feel exactly the same as you do. And that side of it, I know I'm content with. It's just, sometimes I have days where I'm not doing so well, and I think this last shift has been, it takes it out of me. It puts me in bed, to be fair. Actually puts me in bed, so I find it difficult. And then I'm looking round at my precious things, and I didn't make that. This isn't the original one. And it had things in it that my mum put in there. But my mum didn't put those things in there. She didn't. An earring, you know. Oh, Crunchy Bee, all you have to do is look at my, if you go and have a look at my Lord's Prayer video, you'll see exactly this, my story of how I got reconnected with Jesus, and I got reconnected through the Hopi prophecy of all things, and the Lord's Prayer, because forgive us our trespasses was one of the things that I just couldn't cope with, and it hurt me a lot, and I asked Jesus for a sign, and the day after, somebody posted me a link to the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic, which is Jesus' own language, and oh, I was overwhelmed. He sent me, it said trespasses in it still, and he sent me that message, and I was a mess. I was a blubbering, snotty mess with how wonderful that was. But I'm still having to live with the Mandela Effect. I mean, reality is actually changing. Reality is changing. Oh, thank you, Seek the Truth. You know, I was overwhelmed. I was just overwhelmed. And I do feel better I feel better spiritually connected, much calmer in my life about that. But it's, yeah, and my ears ring all the time too. They don't stop. They're constantly ringing. It's horrible. third eye open. I think, yeah, that's one way of putting it. But it's the reality, that reality isn't real. It's just every now and then it's too much. Trying to live with it, trying to deal with it on our own, and realising it's real. It isn't going away. It's real. Sometimes, look, I mean, obviously those of you that have seen me from the beginning of my channel and my journey on my channel, I'm nowhere near as distraught as I was back then, clearly. You know, I'm glad of that. Thank you, God, for stopping that, because, you know, he healed me with that. You know, I feel so much more calm because I know spiritually I'm connected. I don't really feel like, yeah, we're not crazy. We're all here for each other, Elizabeth. We are. We're all here for each other. This is why I want to do these, so we can talk to each other and support each other in real time. You know, we can't do it any other way, can we? We live, not only do we live in different realities from each other, but we live in different countries. And even if we live in the same country, we can't get to each other. It's all very messed up, and I'm feeling particularly low at the minute, and I need you guys. That's why I've come on to do a live, because I need you. There's no two ways about it. Ah, dear. It's really difficult trying to pretend you live in a normal life. I say normal like that because obviously everybody's not living a normal life at the moment with what's going on around the world. And I don't think I'd have been able to cope with all of that with my non-affected family anyway. I've been on my own since February. You know, I haven't seen my family since February. Thank you, Night's Light. Yay, thank you. Seek the truth. My friend has exactly the same thing with her son. It started to happen with her and her son, where they're actually having the same dreams. I'm fortunate, please may that continue, that I've never actually had any kind of sleep paralysis or proper spiritual attack. Don't get me wrong, I get tempted. You know, the devil whispers in my ear. He sends temptations, but I try to shrug that off, and I spend every day trying to better myself from the person I was the day before. But I'm at a loss. I feel lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm all about sharing the love and spreading the love and unity. I try and do that as much as possible. I mean, even just telling somebody else in the street that I like their shoes. You know, but it's absolutely horrendous out there in that world. I don't feel part of it at all anymore. I'm missing my family terribly. I mean, my granddaughter, she's going to be 3 in August, and I haven't seen her since February. She's growing so fast, and I'm missing out on it. You see, I love my family, and I can't bear to think of my grandchildren not being the same grandchildren they were last week. You know, that I find particularly hard. Which is why I don't call them non-player characters. Thank you, Seek the Truth. I miss my old connections. I don't. I don't know anymore. I'm no closer to knowing what it all means. What the outcome's going to be. And I think we are, Elizabeth. I think we are. We haven't worked out what it is that connects us, but we feel like family, don't we? We feel like family to each other. It's true. No, there isn't. There isn't any words to describe the feeling, Jessica, you're right. There isn't. And most of the time I try and be upbeat about it. Or matter of fact. But sometimes it's just, I just feel so drained, it's made me so emotional. I feel so drained and unsure. Spiritually, I put all my trust in God. I just leave it up to Him. Spiritually, I've never felt so connected to my Creator. But I'm still living through it in a human being type style. Just an ever-changing one. The other week, our ovaries flipped, like within a second. They actually flipped on Google. A girl I just told her about the Mandela Effect, and I was just telling her things. And I'd said about the ovaries, so they looked it up, and as they were looking, it was the new version of the ovaries. And then they looked again, they pressed back, and it went flash. And the old ovaries came back. And it's hard to live with. So just standing there, talking to people, we've moved into a different reality. How can we not tell? Well, Jessica, when I first started having my Mandela effects, there was no such thing as the Mandela effect. It was in the 80s. I was about 16, 55 now. So back then, no, there was nothing. I hadn't nearly died. No, there was nothing then. So to me, it's not a near-death experience thing or I've died thing, because there was nothing at that time. I wasn't poorly. I didn't have any accidents. Later on, that's a different story entirely. But yeah, me too, Prel. Me too. And you know, I've only got, I think it's another 60 people, I think it is, or maybe 40 people, and then I've reached the magic 1,000 on YouTube, and then hopefully I can start to have people on with me, so you can do the talking. But yeah, it is the live streams that where I've got to know you guys, you know, talking obviously and connecting on my own videos, but we join each other on live streams, and we wait for live streams to come so we can connect with each other, which is why I'm decided to do that, because I want to talk. Yeah, I want to talk in real time with people that know what I'm going through. You. I don't want it to be all about me. I know this channel is about, it's cathartic. Oh dear. Long reach one, go away. Really? Have fun being sad. What a strange person. Why bother? Really? Why actually bother? Oh, dearie me. Did you, Elizabeth? Whoa. Whoa. That's incredible. Elizabeth. Whoa. So what, how did you get out of that, Elizabeth? What do you remember? I need to know more. Oh, ignore him. Ignore him. I don't care. Let him waffle on shit. So did in what you remember, do you remember swerving but feeling all right, Elizabeth? Or did you go to hospital? What happened? Unfortunately, I don't know how to get rid of that idiot on this stream because it's not YouTube, so I can't just go and block him or something, but just ignore him, people. Let him waffle on it himself. Let him waffle on it himself. Just ignore him. It's really not worth our effort, is he? Okay, thank you, Jessica. Big love to you too. Hope to catch you again soon, love. Okay, bye-bye. Do you know what? It's like 10 minutes past 1 in the morning for me. And there you are getting up for work. So, don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. Have you heard me? Bloody hell. So I feel better already, really, to be fair. I feel better just being here with you guys and getting things out of my system. Whoa. Whoa. Super Cheryl 166. Hello. Hello, hello. Elizabeth. Whoa. That is... Whoa. That's just unbelievable. That's just absolutely unbelievable. Right, I'm just going to try something out. I'm going to see if I can actually still... my first changes, as I've just said, were when I was about 16. When, for me, my heart moved from the left to the middle. And I remember thinking, oh, I thought it was on the left. Because you don't think reality can change. So you think you're mistaken. I thought it was on the left. And then just took the upload. The more complicated one for me was the most... No, I have to. I have to, Bro. I have to say it how it is. I can't be any other way. There's no point doing this channel if I hold back. I have to speak. And yeah, the most confusing one for me was the changes in the American states from 52 to 50. For the rest of my life, I was pretty much confused with how many states there are because of that change. And I remember it happened at the same time.